Hello guys, welcome to the 3D market commentary for today. Today is Friday, June the 4th. So hopefully you guys have had a great trading week so far. And this will be a nice round off to it. Let's just move that camera a little bit. Okay, so my name's Becky. My email address is there. I know my head is in the way, but it's becky@tradictive.com. That would be my email address if you need me. Let's make sure that we go through the disclaimers whilst we're on this screen, and then we'll move on and have a look at that link that we have as well. So disclaimers, obviously legally important to go through, but also for you guys to understand that these things are demonstrations of how we do things. It's up to you ultimately how you take that. We are simply showing you how we use our technology and how we would run through our methodology. Okay, so you have this link here, which is tradewithufos.com/Becky. Let me take you to that. And for those that watch this every day, I know you know, it's not that one, it's this one. I know you know what that is. I know you know, you probably already have a Trade with UFOs membership. However, if you're new and you haven't yet got one, you can come to this link in order to get a Trade with UFOs membership. Let me just get rid of my taskbar here. It's annoying me. There we go. Cool. So you can come here, set yourself up a free Trade with UFOs membership at the top. Just name an email address and then follow the steps through. From this link, you can book one-to-one coaching with me if you'd like. But for me, the best part about it is that you can come down and ask questions in a public environment, which means I can answer it in a public environment. So yes, you can email me if you have a question, happy to help. But if you post the question here and I answer it here, it means other people can see the answer and other people can learn from it. So it may be that the question you have has already been asked and the answer is already there. But maybe that the question you have is new, in which case you're doing somebody else that favor a little bit later down the line. So tradewithufos.com/Becky. If you're already a member, this will unlock automatically. If you're not a member, then you just set a free one up there. Five major world markets that of course is relevant to what's going on in the charts. So we'll look at both. Now with this, just checking something there, cool. With this we are looking at three separate elements here. So we're looking at first and foremost market climate, upcoming market direction. Is it going up? Is it going down? Should we be going long, i.e. buying, or should we be going short, i.e. selling? Sometimes the climate is not confirmed either way and we do nothing. Ideally what we're looking for is logical. That's why we use our Auto Climate app to tell us whether or not we should be looking to buy or sell or do nothing. That's the first thing we should be asking ourselves. So we use this app, ignore the lines for now, just focus on the dots. If it's a thick blue dot, that tells us probability up, look to buy. If it's a thick red dot, that tells us probability down, look to sell. If it's a thin dot of either colour, like these, but slightly harder to see, but thin dot of either colour, that tells us not enough probability, do nothing. So we have a very simple yes, no, or up, down, and no, or buy, sell, do nothing. That question is answered for us very, very simply with this piece of free software. By the way, once you have your free Trade with UFOs membership, you can download this for free for TradingView or TradeStation. Now, once we know whether or not we're going up or down, buying or selling, we want to know where exactly. Entries and exits. Where should we be buying? Where should we be selling? That's where these guys come in. We call them our UFOs. I know they look like flying saucers, but they are unfilled orders. So let's take these red ones, for example. They show us where we have sell orders. Why is that important to know? If there's enough sell orders for the UFO to pick it up, then there's a lot there. If we want to sell, we want to sell where there's a lot of selling, because it's much more likely to beat the buyers and push price down. If we want to buy, then we buy with these green UFOs, because that's where we're going to have a lot of buying. If we want to buy where there's lots of buying. It's much more likely to beat the sellers and push price upwards. Again, we use an app to make this really easy, technology to highlight for us and show us exactly in price where do we have these stacks of buy and sell orders. So we'll look at that per market as well. And let's just highlight that again. We'll look at volatility. Gives us an idea of risk to reward. Volatility is essentially how quick the market moves. If it moves very quickly, that can increase risk and reward. If it moves slowly, then that reduces risk and reward as well. Okay, so let's move on to the first market, which is the S&P. Now we are looking at futures contracts, continuous futures contracts for these markets. If you don't know what they are, essentially we're looking at representations of what these markets are. and we're looking at daily charts as well. So first market is the S&P 500, which is the top 500 US stocks. Now with this, we have an unconfirmed climate. It may be blue, it may say it's upwards, but what matters most is that it's unconfirmed. It's a thin dot. That tells us not enough probabilities either way, and therefore we do nothing. We change time frame or we change market. No point trading something that doesn't have enough probabilities one way or the other. When it comes to UFOs, we have this one here, 41.85 to 41.42.50. We're kind of within that right now. We would expect it to push price upwards, but price has been hovering around it a lot over the last few days, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that break either. So for the time being, we'd leave this alone. Change markets, change time frame. No need to trade something where we don't have clear probabilities one way or the other. Now with market volatility, we'd expect that in 1 year, this market would move up or down 18.13%. which means in a day, up or down of 47.86 points, in a week, up or down of 105.36 points, and in a month, up or down of 219.33 points. So that's the S&P. Overall, on this time frame, not enough probabilities to call it, so we would change time frame or change market. Now, next market is oil. Let's have a look here. As it says here about our courses, you can check those out. We do courses in futures, stocks, forex, backtesting, trading plans, psychology. So you can check out those courses on our website. By the way, even if you're not too hot on doing a course, most of them will come with 3 months of complimentary access to the apps. So AutoClimate is a free app, but AutoUFOs, where it tells us specifically where the orders are, is a paid for app. On TradingView, which is the one I'm using right now, it's $34 per month. Some of our courses are one-off fees of $34 or one-off fees of $89. So if you do the maths on that, it works out cheaper to do a course and get access to the apps for 3 months than it would to just go onto the apps. So that might help you there as well. So with crude oil, we have a confirmed upwards climate, thick blue dot, probability to the upside, which means we should be looking to buy. Now usually this market goes up for 6.47 candles, and we're around that up to 7. Normally goes up for 7 candles, we're on candle number 8. So we have gone past what is usual in terms of an upwards move on this market, but that's not to say that it won't continue. Sometimes we go past what's normal, sometimes we fall short what's normal, and we come up with that average in between, right? So for the time being, still probability up, not as much as we would like, than if this number was say 1 or 2, but still probability upwards overall for oil. Now buy and sell UFOs, similar to the S&P, we have a buy UFO just beneath us, which is within it right now. The numbers for that are 68.87 to 65.25. We have sell orders just above us though, 72.70 to 70.64. So what's likely to happen, if price does continue moving up and it hits this stack of sell orders, it will react from that and come down. That might be the end of this move to the upside, but we'll have to see. For the time being, still overall probability to the upside there with oil. Now with volatility on oil, we'd expect in 1 year that oil would move up 33.89%, up or down, 33.89%, which means in 1 day a movement of points up or down, in a week 3.25 points up or down, and in a month 6.76 points up or down. So that's oil. Now let's move on to the next market, which is gold. As it says there, if you need UFOs, you can subscribe directly to them. You don't have to do a course. Like I said, it will get you cheaper access or free access to the apps for 3 months if you do a course, but you can subscribe directly to the apps if you'd like. Okay, so gold. We have an unconfirmed climate. So it says confirmed no. Very hard to see there because it's thin, but a very thin red dot. So again, doesn't matter the colour, matters that it's thin, matters that it's unconfirmed. So not a confirmed climate, not enough probabilities either way to do anything on this chart. So change time frame, change market. In terms of buy and sell UFOs, we're nestled between them. We've got a sell UFO just above us at 1919.2 to 1884.3, and we have buy orders just below us at 1847.1 to 1808.4. So if we were to hit this stack of sell orders, which we're very close to doing, a couple of points away, we're likely to see price fall from there. But for the time being, Not enough probabilities either way with the climate, so again, we'd keep away from this market on this time frame. Now, when it comes to volatility, we'd expect in the year that gold would move up or down 15.95%, which means in a day, 18.83 points up or down, in a week, 41.45 points up or down, and in 1 month, 86.28 points up or down. Overall, with gold, similar to the S&P, not enough probabilities either way to call it. Change time frame, change market. Now, just to say here, we offer coaching and support. Of course, you're probably watching this on YouTube or Facebook, so it's free. We do provide lots of free coaching and support where you can watch us explain things and watch us place trades and things like that. We do have closed coaching, which is $21 per month, which gives you access to more of our time in a closed environment. But like I said, you can access us for free on YouTube as well. Depends what is best for you. Okay, moving on to the next market, which is the US dollar. US dollar is responsible for about 80% of transactions worldwide daily. So whether you trade it or not, be aware of it. It will impact all kinds of markets, the ones we're looking at and then some. So with the dollar, we have a confirmed upwards climate, thick blue dot here, probability upwards. Now, usually this market would go up for 4.65 candles. Let's round that up to 5. We're on candle number 1, which means probability that it continues based on what usually happens. So a good probability there upwards for the dollar. Now, we may run into a slight issue here because we're with each other. Sell orders just above, buy orders just below. So we have buy orders here, 90.43 to 89.795. We also have buy orders just below here, 89.65 to 89.165. That one's already worked, where price came in, hit a stack of buy orders, went up, came in, hit a stack of buy orders, went up, came back, went up, came back, went up. That's what we expect buy orders to do, is push price up, and it's done that 5-6 times now with that particular UFO. So we have strong buying below us, but we have selling just above us, and that's already working to push price down. So 90.91 to 90.575. You see here, price came in, just touched it, and came down again. So we've got sellers that are pushing price down and buyers that are pushing price up. Now, overall, what's more likely to win is the buyers, because they've also got the climate on their side. But we do have resistance that we're coming up against. So just bear that in mind. But overall probability to the upside there with the dollar. Now, in terms of volatility, we'd expect in 1 year that the dollar would move up or down 6.31%, which means in a day, 0.36 points up or down. In a week, 0.79 points up or down. And in a month, 1.65 points up or down. So that's the dollar. Overall probability upwards, but bear in mind we do have sell orders that have come in, pushing price down at the moment. So the last market is backed Bitcoin. So let's take a quick look at that one. Now, this also, with Bitcoin, obviously it's been on its way down, but we've finally got a now unconfirmed climate. So of course it shot down here and it's spent a few days sort of hovering like this. So now it's unconfirmed, undecided. Again, really no surprise there. Again, when we have unconfirmed climates, we do nothing. We change the time frame, we change the market, but we do nothing on this one because it doesn't have enough probabilities to call it one way or the other. In terms of buy and sell UFOs, we have sell orders up here, 51,782.5 to 46,807.5, and buy orders down here, 27,782.5 to 22,910 even. Again, we're in the middle of that, not close enough to either stack of those orders really to make a difference in the next day or so, based on what usually happens. But it is a reasonably volatile market compared to the others. We would expect in 1 year it would move up or down by 104.03%, so a lot more than the others that we've seen. That means in a day, movements of around 2,414.39 up or down. In a week, up or down of 5,315.03, and in 1 month, up or down of 11,064.12. So based on the UFOs that are close by, and based on the usual volatility, you'd expect it to take a month or so for it to hit either one of those. Of course, sometimes we see unexpected things happen. Sometimes new orders come into the market, of course. So we'll keep an eye out for that. For the time being with Bitcoin, unconfirmed on the climate and not close to either stack of orders. So again, question mark with this. We keep away from it. change time frame, change market. Okay, so that's the end of going through the markets. Let's do a quick summary of our economic calendar. This is the FX Street economic calendar. We filter by high impact news, just so we can see what might increase volatility on the markets. So today being Friday, 4th of June, we've already had some news come out on the euro, the US dollar and the Canadian dollar and the Danish kroner, I believe. We'll all be having news coming out later on today. So depending on where you trade in the world, what currencies you trade, will depend on whether or not that's relevant to you. You can go to the link, fxstreet.com/economic calendar, and you'll be able to filter this to filter out the countries that you don't trade or the currencies that you don't trade. So that's something to bear in mind there. Now, if you have any questions about the courses, the apps, the coaching, the memberships, what's going to be good for you, if not, if anything at all, then you can schedule a self-schedule a clarification call with one of our experts and chat that through. If you have any questions for me, you can email me, becky@tradictive.com, or you can come here, tradewithufos.com/Becky. Set yourself up with a free Trade with UFOs membership. You can book one-on-one coaching there if you'd like, or you can come down and ask a question here in a public space. I can answer it in a public space and other people get the answer. So hopefully this was helpful to expand on that email that you have if you're already a member, or if you're not a member, then it explains what that email is and why we send it out. If you have any questions, you know where to go. Otherwise, hopefully you guys have a nice round off to your trading week. Your Friday is a great one and you have a amazing